We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. Yo, welcome to the show where the faith meets the court. Church guys repping hard, yeah, we live for the sport. From the pulpit to the bleachers, the word we endorse. Dropping dimes, preaching truth, keeping God as the source. We breaking down the play, stats, facts, and the story. Sunday to game day, all for his glory. Talking hoops, talking fields, every touchdown and shot. But we never lose sight of the faith that we got. Is fellowship, fire, passion in the zone. Church guys sports show, yeah, you know we at home. Turn the volume up loud, let the good vibes flow. This is more than just a game, it's the way that we grow. The Church Guys. We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. The Church Guys. We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. From the locker room talk to the pews on a Sunday, we call the plays right, kingdom business on Monday. Faith on the field, spirit driving the grind. Every headline we drop got the word intertwined. We repping every team, but the banner is Christ. Breaking huddles with the gospel, yeah, we living it right. From the Knicks to the league, every stat, every score, we gon' praise, analyze, then we give God more. So tune in, locked in, let the truth be shown. Church Guy Sports Show, man, the vibe's full grown. It's the faith in the game and a powerful blend. From the tip off to the buzzer, we gon' ride to the end. The Church Guys. We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. The Church Guys.
What up, everybody? What's going on? Church Guys Sports Show for Tuesday, the 10th of February, 2026. Post-game show today. Knicks fall to the Indiana Pacers at the Garden, 137-134. In a game they quite honestly should not have lost. A game they quite honestly should not have lost. A lot to unpack. We're one game away from the All-Star break tomorrow. Final game before the All-Star break. Knicks go down to Philly, down 95. And they will go down the Turnpike and play the 76ers. The only good thing about tonight is the loss, that is the fact that since the turnaround is so quick, they only have to go down the Turnpike. They don't have to go to Philly tonight. Everybody gets to sleep in their own bed. And we know that MSG South is going to be rocking tomorrow because Philly, you know, Knicks fans take over Philly all the time. Knicks really missed OG Anunoby tonight in this game. Pascal Siakam had 30 points for the Indiana Pacers tonight. He didn't shoot all that particularly well. He was 11 of 26 from the floor, 3 of 10 from 3. Missed a bunch of huge free throws in regulation and in overtime that quite honestly kept the Knicks in this game. Knicks trailed by 9 points with 20 seconds left in this game. And as you see, the game literally came down to the final possession still. So Knicks lose tonight, 137-134. They fall to their 20th loss of the season, now with a record of 34-20. Pacers improve to 14-40. 14-40. Pacers have the second worst record in all of the NBA. Tonight, Jalen Brunson, 40 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, but quite honestly, was not good down the stretch. Not good at all. And I don't usually say things like that about Jalen Brunson, but he was not good down the stretch. His decision-making was poor. And when I say decision-making, it wasn't even his passing. It was the shots he was settling for late in this game in regulation. There was an ill-advised 3 with the Knicks up 1 with just about a minute and a half to go in this game. They had forced Pascal Siakam into a miss. You're up 1. All you got to do is come down, work for a good shot. If you go up 3, great. You go up 4, even better. But he came down and he took what amounted to about a 29-foot three-pointer from the top of the arc. That's not a good shot in that situation. That's not a high IQ shot. And y'all know I rarely kill Jalen Brunson because, quite honestly, Bishop L's always killing Jalen Brunson. That's not nothing new. But I tend to err on the side of Jalen Brunson, for the most part, does what he's supposed to do for the most part. So I've given him a little more grace. Tonight, there was no grace for this one. Jalen Brunson shot 15. He took 31 shots tonight. 31 shots in a game where, listen and hear this good, Karl Anthony Towns was actually dominant. Second overtime started. The Knicks missed their first 4 shots. Cat didn't touch the ball once before he fouled out. That can't happen. This is the guy who got you into overtime. Feed him the basketball. And again, we have killed Cat repeatedly on this show. But tonight was not the night. Tonight, Cat gave us a 22.14 rebound double-double. 8 of 17 from the floor. He was strong. It was an impactful game for Karl Anthony Towns. Why are you not feeding him in the overtime? Mikal Bridges gave you a 9 of 15, 6 rebound, 3 assists, 22 points. Why is he not getting the ball? Josh Hart had a triple-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. Heck, get Josh Hart the ball. I don't understand going into that 1-4 flat in the final 2 minutes of the game in a game where you've been scoring at the rim pretty much at will because Indiana has no shot blockers. None. They traded their one shot blocker, left in free agency and went to Milwaukee. That was Miles Turner. They had one shot blocker on their roster, and that shot blocker went to Milwaukee. How are you not abusing them in the paint? Knicks took 46 threes, shot 14 of 46 from 3 tonight, 30% from 3, 50% from the floor for the game. The Knicks were an even L, 50 of 100 from the floor. They shot 50% and lost. That's not supposed to happen. I digress.
I think those of you who watch our show, you know, I am not a big Jalen Brunson fan. I have my reasons. I'm going to give my reasons now. And the first reason is let me say it like this. He would not be doing this if DiVincenzo was still on this team. Because DiVincenzo would hold him accountable for many of the ill-advised decisions that he makes on the court. Yes, he had 40. Granted. But what good is 40 points if we're losing the game? Yes, he hit a big 3 that was almost reminiscent of the Larry Johnson 4-point play.
I mean, truthfully, he did get fouled. He did get fouled. They didn't call him.
But we were only in this position because of his bad decision making. Jalen Brunson is a horrible point guard. Jalen Brunson is an undersized 2 guard who flows better when he does not have the ball in his hand. We led the game whenever Jalen Brunson did not have the ball in his hand. Whenever Jalen Brunson had the ball in his hand, we relinquished the lead. Every single time. when Josh and Jose, welcome home, Jose. Glad to have you. You had like an entire section of the garden filled with Williamsburg, Southside Brooklyn. When they were running the game, the pace was better. Jalen slows down the pace, not to get the rest of the team involved in the game. Jalen slows down the pace so that he can create his own offense. He slows down the pace looking for 4 other Jalen Brunsons on the court. He has no intention on passing the ball. No intention on setting up a play. Davey Wright was in our chat a little while ago. Davey Wright asked the question, do we have any offensive plays? And my answer to that was not when Jalen is on the floor. I know that that Jalen is not running no offensive plays because I saw him 3 times in an offensive timeout. And all 3 times, he was not looking at that clipboard at all. Not paying attention to whatever Mike Brown was possibly drawing up on that clipboard. Because he has no intention on running a structured play that could possibly get somebody else into the game. Every time, watch this. Whenever you see Jalen Brunson pass the ball, it's because he dribbled 17 times and got trapped. And then he passes it out, and there's a possibility that it might be a turnover. If it's not a turnover, thanks be to God, speak in tongues.
Not speaking tongues.
But 8 times out of 10, when Jalen Brunson dribbles that ball 17 to 20 times, trying to, granted, his footwork is impeccable sometimes because some people don't bite that fake all the time. Now, Overseer. Now, what I do like, and here's what I'm gonna say. Talking about that ill-advised three-pointer that he took with us up 1 with what, like a minute and some change?
About a minute and a half to go. It's about a minute and a half left.
He took an ill-advised three-pointer. We were up by 1. And every time before that, when he went to the hole, he got the call.
That's accurate.
Every time he went to the rack, he got the call. The refs were handing him the game. And at the point that the refs were handing him the game, Jalen Brunson, yes, you got 40 points, but Jalen Brunson, you are the reason that we lost this game. On that one play, that 3-point play, that 3-point shot that you took that was ill-advised, it was a horrible IQ shot. You took that shot.
Terrible shot.
One, and you should
Terrible
not
shot.
Because had you gone to the hole, we was either going up 4 or going up 3. Period. I digress.
Y'all do us a favor, like, share, tag, comment. We're on for a good time, not for a long time tonight. It's late, but we did need to come on, obviously, in our regular Tuesday slot.
He is not a point guard that can take us to the promised land. Nobody wants to believe it. Perkins doesn't want to believe it. I don't even think all of my co-hosts believe what I'm saying. He is not a point guard that will take us to a championship. Not unless he's willing to make a sacrifice, dog. You can't drop 30 every night.
Listen,
sometimes you got to give the ball away. You can't. First of all, this is a running gun. This is a run and gun kind of town. You go to any park in New York City where they're playing basketball, they are not playing half-court offense. They are running the point. They are running the pace. You are in New York. Run the pace. And if you can't run the pace and get that ball across the half-court mark in a matter of 8 seconds or less, and you only got 8 seconds to get there, so you really should be getting across that half court mark within 3 to 5 seconds. If you can't do that, give the ball to somebody that's willing to run like they ain't got something stuck up in their behind. And run around and get open, because what I'm seeing out of Jalen Brunson, he is not a run the offense kind of point guard. What I am seeing out of Jalen Brunson, which I do think will be effective, is when he runs around the court without the ball in his hand and he gets open. When he gets open, you give him the ball, jab step, like the last play that just happened when he jab stepped that kid and hit that three. He did not have the ball in his hands.
You know, I actually agree with that sentiment, because in watching the Knick offense, whenever they run that horn set, which is basically a Steph Curry play, where it's either Mikal or Josh in a dribble handoff up top. Jalen comes down, Cat or whoever the big is sets a screen and allows him to come off the curl back up top. Whenever Jalen gets the ball coming off the curl, it gives him an angle directly to the basket, or it puts him in a shooter's rhythm to be able to get off a rhythm three-pointer, which we know the three-pointer is a rhythm shot. The three-pointer is a rhythm shot. And if you ran more of that, if you watch Golden State runs that with Steph Curry about 40 times a game. And you can't stop it because Steph Curry is just that good. Now, Jalen's not Steph Curry as a shooter, no, but Jalen has the footwork to be able to get to his spots. And if you notice, L, that play forces Jalen to play faster, because you got to come off that screen hard. You got to come off that screen hard. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So you come off that screen hard, you get that handoff there, and then you're diving to the basket. And then you've got your big as your rim runner, and then you got OG and Mikal or Shamet spreading to the corners. And then there's your kick out for the corner three. There's your wide open shot. There you go.
And I want his father out of here. I don't want his father as an assistant coach. He needs to go.
Well, why is Rick catching strays?
He needs to go.
Why is Rick catching strays? I don't understand that. Why are you giving Rick strays?
Because I think having his father on the sidelines gives him this sense of entitlement.
Interesting.
I think it allows him to do the things that he does, and he's not held accountable.
I don't know. I don't know about him not being held accountable.
I don't think he's held accountable at all. You know what? Tonight, I should hear Mike Brown saying that was an ill-advised three-point shot that he took with a couple of minutes, with a minute and a half left, and we was up by one. If I'm the coach, I'm saying that was a bad shot.
I agree with you. Jalen would get called out.
He would get called out. You go into the hole.
You got to call him there.
You go into the hole, and every time you go into the hole, it's either an M1 or it's 2 at the foul line. Every single time. I counted it. It was not one time that the refs did give him the call.
You're getting whatever you want at the rim. But from 10 feet in, you're getting whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Why would you go away from that? Why? Especially with the lead, which means I'm putting I'm not bailing the defense out. I'm putting more pressure on the defense.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm up one and y'all gotta stop me. Okay, I'm diving to the goal. Stop me. You think Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant would have pulled up for three?
Never. They would have went straight to the hole. Straight to the rack, because they knew that the whistles was in their pocket. The whistles was in Jalen Brunson's pocket. The whole fourth quarter, the whole overtime.
And until it mattered when he got fouled on what should have been a 4-point play that would have tied the game. I I can't even say, I don't know what happened today.
They didn't
He,
make the refs didn't call that call because they was like, oh, he's dumb. I'm telling you now, the refs didn't call that call because the refs are saying the same thing we saying. Now we only giving him that whistle if he go to the hole. They're not giving him that whistle 29 feet out. They're not giving him that. No. Why should we? Because basketball IQ and basketball smart says that's not a shot that you should be taking.
TJ McConnell, 13 points
Overtime
off the bench.
because of you.
Well, we're in overtime thanks to Cat, who was able to knock down 2 free throws with .2 left to send the game to overtime. I mean, Indiana was trying to.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
No,
is
I understand what you
go
mean.
into
I understand what you mean. No, I understand what you mean, but I wanted to shout out Cat, who again played a very strong game tonight.
Sure did.
Indiana was trying to hand the Knicks the game tonight. Indiana was trying to, even shooting daggone near 50% from 3 today night. Indiana was trying to hand us this game. And the Knicks found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Knicks did not defend the 3 well today, to the tune of Indiana shooting 18 of 45, a cool 40% from the field. Indiana shot 52% from the field as a whole, as a team for the game. Again, Pascal Siakam, 30 points on 11 of 26. Indiana had 8 players in double figures tonight. Andrew Nembhard had 24. Quentin Jackson had 19. TJ McConnell, 13 off the bench. And it just seemed like TJ McConnell got to the rim wherever he felt like it at various points. And I'm like, what
because
the heck?
Jalen Brunson too busy being buddy with him on the court. They hugging, laughing, kissing, all of that.
Kissing.
Too busy
No,
being buddy
I
on the
agree.
court.
I absolutely agree with you. I need the NBA of the animosity of the NBA back. Like, listen, a lot of people didn't know, like Jordan and Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing and they were all friends during the offseason. During the season, they wanted to kill each other. You never saw them smiling and laughing with each other during the regular season. They wasn't dapping each other up during the regular season, putting their arms around each other and hugging as they go down court. No, because it's a war right now.
You got that new 2K? That's
just like that.
You got that new 2K?
Seeing his zesty like that too.
Yeah.
Q the Prophet says there's a missing link with our roster. We should have won this game, and Brunson had 40. It's not a missing link with the roster.
Not with the roster.
No,
because if
there's
OG
no
is playing tonight, we win.
Right, because Siakam doesn't get 30. Because Siakam doesn't get 30. The X factor was Siakam. And, kudos to Pascal Siakam. He looked across and saw OG wasn't playing and said, give me the ball. Which is what you're supposed to do when you're the best player on a team.
I said it before the game.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I said it before the game even started.
So this is where I go into my point where I haven't really criticized Jalen Brunson, but I've got to criticize Mike Brown as well. Mohamed Diawara showed you against Jalen Brown on Sunday that he can handle guarding an all-star wing. Why did you not put him on Pascal Siakam more? Why is 6'4" Josh Hart guarding Pascal Siakam with the game on the line, when all Siakam has to do is back him down and then shoot over him because he's 5 inches taller than him? Why is Diawara not in the game? So you mean to tell me you trust Diawara on Jalen Brown, an MVP candidate, but you don't trust him on Pascal Siakam? Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. Make it make sense to me.
I can't.
Overseer Noah Bullard said at some point JB has to realize he doesn't have to play superhero ball every night. Agreed. 31 shots tonight, unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary.
Good luck realizing.
31 shots? Your last name Jordan?
This nigga's
That's the
coming
only
down
cat
court.
I know that I'm okay with taking 30 shots a game. The only one. He is the only player that I'm okay with taking 30 shots a game.
First of all, he was 0 for his first 5. That alone lets you know that
He
his
took
game.
14 3-pointers, L. He took 31 shots, 14 of which were from 3. He was 4 of 14 from 3-point range tonight. 4 of 14.
That's McCants man. That's McCants man. J Mac loves him. J Mac got into a whole argument with me last year.
Which means he was 15 of 31 for the game, 4 of 14 from 3, which means if you eliminate the 3-point shot, Jalen Brunson was actually a very efficient 11 of 17. A very efficient 11 of 17, but you took 14 3-pointers. Need more games like Detroit and Charlotte, not this buddy stuff. No, Sam, we're gonna talk about that in just a second because we've got to touch on that before we go tonight.
No, I don't agree with.
I don't want to see that kind. I don't want to see that kind of basketball. I don't, and I'm gonna tell you why. And if you saw our page, I posted a video on the Church Guys page on Facebook, and I posted it on our TikTok as well. I blame the NBA, but I'll get into that in just a moment. Anything else you want to say about tonight's Knicks loss before we transition?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I really hate load management. I think that Mitchell Robinson could have played at least 10 minutes tonight, if not the entire night. I think that you get his blood.
For him, it's not called load management. It's injury management because he's coming off that ankle thing. So this is what the doctors have prescribed. So this is what the doctors have prescribed to keep him healthy and get him to the postseason. So I'm not against it because we know Mitch has been injury prone. I agree with you. But again, we also come from an era where things were different in terms of how guys prepared for games. You saw the video, and I very rarely agree with anything Paul Pierce says, but when him and KG were talking about this whole load management thing and how they would practice for 2 hours every day and then go play a game. And now you got guys on off days, they not getting in no work. They doing individual work for 30 minutes, and then now you go in to play in a game for 2 hours, and then your Achilles can't hold up, and you want to say, oh, it's because we need more load management. No, it's because you have not stretched your tendons to the limit to where those muscles are strong enough to withstand the rigors of an NBA season. I totally agree with that. And I never agree with anything that guy says.
This is a sissy NBA.
It is. Test Facade, missed the game. I was at rehearsal. Heard a little bit. Great point about Diawara guarding Brown, but not right. Like I don't understand that decision. I gotta put because L did say in our group chat before the game, Siakam's gonna go off tonight, and I said after Diawara on Sunday, if Diawara gonna have something to say about that, and Mo Diawara played 18 minutes tonight. Are you kidding me? 20-year-old rookie. He got 6 fouls. Throw him at Siakam. They both 6'10". They both, this is terrible. One is a big Frenchman, the other's a big African. Let them go at it. Give the kid a shot. I know. But give in all jokes aside, give the kid a shot. He showed you he could shut down Jaylen Brown, who's one of the most prolific scorers in the league now. He put the clamps on Jaylen Brown Sunday. You don't think he could have did that to Pascal Siakam? Overseer Freeland, what's going on, bro? He said Knicks took the night off because they didn't take the night off. They scored 134 points. They didn't take the night off. Jalen Brunson shot us out of this game.
John Starks shooting. John Starks game 7 shooting.
Wasn't that quite that bad? It wasn't quite that bad. But But 4 of 14 from 3 for Jalen Brunson. And the crazy thing is, I agree with most of what you said regarding JB, because during that 8-game winning streak, JB only had like really one huge scoring game during the winning streak. All the other games, he was 15, 17, 20, and the Knicks were thriving. He sacrificed his game. He dialed it up on the defensive end during those games, which I absolutely appreciate. And most of his energy went to that. He wasn't getting 35 a night, but he was doing the other things that a point guard does to facilitate winning. And we were blowing teams out. Now tonight against a team that you should have blown out, you lay an egg. Well, Knicks again tomorrow night, Philadelphia, 7:30 p.m. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say that because the Knicks have been good about bouncing back as far as games like that and back-to-backs. So we'll see what happens. I don't like the prospect of having to have played an overtime game the day before a back-to-back, which is against a conference rival, which is never a good sign. Jalen Brunson played 42 minutes tonight. Mikal Bridges played 43 minutes tonight. Josh Hart played 41 minutes tonight. Landry Shamet played 38 minutes tonight. You're probably not going to have, not even probably, you're not going to have OG tomorrow night, because I have it on very good authority that they have decided to hold OG out until after the All-Star break so that his toe could heal completely. So you're not going to have OG tomorrow. You got 32 minutes from Karl Anthony Towns tonight as well. So the bench is going to really have to come to play tomorrow if the Knicks are going to stay competitive, especially with that Philly backcourt, because that Philly backcourt, they just fast. VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey are a problem. VJ and Tyrese are a problem.
So in other words, they're going to be blowing by Jalen Brunson all night.
It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem tomorrow. I'm not even gonna sit there and lie. You're right. I mean, they shot 40%. Philly ended up shooting 40% J-Mac from 3. But you're right. They shot 50% in the first half, which is absolutely terrible. You cannot. And I mean, we're not talking about, they're just making a bunch of contested threes. They had so many wide open looks till it just was not even funny tonight. It looked like early in the season when we couldn't guard the 3 at all. And the crazy thing is, during this run that we've been on, we had gotten our three-point percentage down to 28% as far as giving up threes, which means we were running teams off the line. And tonight, it all just went to hell.
Because there's no real communication on the defensive end of the ball. And as soon as the opposing player sets the pick, nobody makes the switch, and the one rounds up at the corner or at the 3 by themselves with nobody defending them. And I saw that happen at least 15 to 20 times tonight.
Over and over and over again tonight. Over and over and over again tonight. It was very, very
all
bad.
I kept saying to myself was, if only somebody would communicate and make the switch.
Well, that's the other problem that I have with basketball as we know it now, especially in the NBA. This switch everything defense does not work. Switch everything is lazy. I remember the days of fighting over screens. I stayed fighting over screens as a defender. I stayed fighting over screens because my man is not getting away from me.
Right.
This is my assignment. Quite honestly, no communication was necessary because my bigs knew, stay home or hedge, because I'm going over the screen and I'm staying with him. Or even worse, I'm an old school player. You want to know how and kudos to Kobe Bryant. There's a video circulating from the Redeem team when Kobe joined the Olympic squad. when Mike Krzyzewski asked him to join that team with Braun and Melo and all of them, and they were getting ready to play Spain, and Pau Gasol was on the Spanish team, and Kobe told him in the huddle, "I know what they're running first play of the game. I'm running through Pau to set the tone.
Yep.
Pau's gonna set a screen. I'm running through him." They're like, "Nah, that's your man. You ain't gonna do that." Again, that's these soft young players. Because that was Braun and Chris Paul and all of them. That was these soft young. You're not gonna do that. That's your friend. What did Kobe do? First play of the game, he ran through Pau Gasol. That's what I did in high school. I would run through the big. Would I get called for a foul? Yes, but now the tone is set. I'm going to make you think twice about setting a hard screen on me, which made it easier for me to fight over screens as the game went along. You're not punking me. You're not bullying me. I got 5 fouls. I'm going to use all of them.
Yep.
I'm running through you. That's right, Q. That's Mamba mentality.
So, what I did,
Yep, that's how I learned. Man or zone. Stay with your assignment or your man. Yes. All this switch everything nonsense.
What I did appreciate was, and I can see how much of a defensive disruptor he is.
Oh, Jose Alvarado. Absolutely.
Jose Alvarado. Whenever
that was really good for us.
Oh, yeah. Whenever that was happening, when he was on the court, you didn't see nobody with an open three. He was on, like, this dude was playing. Whoever was at the
playing 1-on-5. He was guarding everybody. He was guarding everybody.
And of course,
I will say this. I agree with you. I'm looking forward to the second half of the season because with us getting him right before the All-Star break, you got to remember he has had no time to really learn plays. He has really had no time to learn defensive assignments. And the next week and a half, he gets to spend with the coaching staff learning.
Yeah.
Which is just going to make him real scary when he comes into games. GTA 5 is going to be a problem. GTA 5 is going to be a problem. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. One of the things that I was not looking forward to seeing happened last night. 2 NBA games had brawls. I'm not going to even talk about the Atlanta-Minnesota dust-up because that wasn't too bad. We have to talk about the Detroit Piston dust-up with the Charlotte Hornets. So, El, what was your takeaway from what happened? Now that I'm sure that you've seen every angle of video on that.
Every angle of it. My take on it is, you know what I said in our chat. I honestly, when you said the league has to do something about this Detroit team, the way that they, I feel like this. The league has heard so much rumbling about how soft the league is and blah, 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 blah. That if you notice, Detroit is the only team that they let get away with this stuff. And it almost brings a little nostalgia.
They stirred the hornet's nest. Yes, they did.
It brings a little nostalgia because now it's like, well, if the fans want to see early 90s basketball, why not give it to them with the Detroit Bad Boys? So you got these dudes acting a fool. Last night reminded me of the Malice at the Palace.
Malice in the Palace. Mm-hmm. Which, of course, Detroit was a part of.
Bench. I pray that he gets 25 games.
It's really looking that way. Q said the Detroit Pistons brought back the Bad Boys of Detroit energy.
And personally, I don't think so. I think they're fake.
I've been saying it. Keisha was mad at me today. I was talking to her, and I'm like, I'm sick of these fake thugs. First of all, let me get into your man Isaiah Stewart, because there is a wonderful angle which I sent Keisha earlier to show her. For all of that tough guy stuff, he comes running off the bench, charging at Miles Bridges, and somebody had the smarts to slow it down. He runs towards Miles Bridges, and he's right there, nobody in between him, and he slows up. He doesn't actually throw a punch till somebody gets in between them.
Sucker nigga.
Jalen Duren mushes Diabate in the head and immediately backs up. You want to tell me that's tough? There's nothing tough about that.
I think they fake.
They fake tough.
They fake tough, yo. They fake tough. And honestly,
Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason would have punked the hell out of them.
Chris Childs would have done it.
2-piece to Kobe.
Okay, Chris Childs would have popped him. Like, get out of here, son. Chris Childs would have popped him.
Carmelo Anthony would have punked him.
Rasheed Wallace would have.
You saw what Carmelo did to Marty Collins in the Garden when he was with Denver. That's real. We're gonna pop off. We're gonna pop off. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You don't slow up. You don't mush somebody and back up. You don't go charging and the crazy thing was Miles Bridges was ready for him because if those guys hadn't gotten in between him, he had grabbed Stewart. He had ducked the punch, grabbed Stewart by his legs, and was about to body slam him on that wood. And if it hadn't been for those getting over there, it would have been a problem. Yes, Tesfa, go back and put in Chris Childs and Kobe Bryant, and you'll find it on YouTube.
Greg Anthony running on the court in street clothes.
And again, I'm not saying they don't have the energy of the bad boy Pistons. Nah, it's fake. Nah. They will never have that Lane Beer, Rodman, Rick Mahorn, Isaiah Thomas, Vinnie Johnson, Joe Dumars energy. Those dudes was thugs for real.
Yeah, but they are fake trying to relive that, right? Like what the boy Isaiah Stewart said. Why you think I got drafted to Detroit? He's saying that because somewhere in their brain they're trying to relive that.
Right, Q. Bill Laimbeer would have never backed down from a brawl. I seen that live. Kobe was shook. That 2-piece Chris Childs gave him.
Boom, boom.
Childs went boom, boom.
Jersey, baby.
And I agree. I think Isaiah Stewart should get at least 25 games because he's a repeat offender. Jalen Duren, for inciting it, to me, should get 10 games. Diamante should get 10 games because he didn't calm down. Because, they literally had to drag him down the tunnel. But I get it. What Duren did was the ultimate disrespect. Because the foul happened, they came head to head. They're jawing at each other. And what does Duren do? He takes his head. You don't mush another grown man in the face. You don't do that. And not expect there to be repercussions.
Nah, he thought he was Will Smith, and he thought dude was Chris Rock.
And Miles Bridges should get 5 games as well. Because he went to go 2-piece Duren. He only connected with one, but he did take a swing at Duren. The funniest guy of the whole thing was Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson had the look on his face like, look at these niggas.
And walked away. Away.
But it goes back to what I said. I'm like, y'all trying to portray tough. Duncan Robinson is on your team. Kevin Huerter there's nothing tough about those dudes. Duncan Robinson and Kevin Huerter ain't tough. Not for nothing. And he's a great ball player, but Cade Cunningham ain't tough.
Sure ain't.
Cade ain't tough either.
They private school kids, man.
That's what said that man Duncan wanted no parts of that. He's smart. He said he also looks like he wants out of Detroit already. He probably does. Cause who wants that? Who wants to deal with that?
I don't be fighting with these niggas.
Basically. Right, Q. Mushing a grown man in the face is the equivalent of telling another man to SMD. Exactly. Absolutely. How did he expect Diamante to react? And I'm watching the video like, I'm not mad at Diamante because I would have tried to snuff Duren too. You mushed me? Are you serious?
Nah, it was this much too. It wasn't like that. It was that.
Nah, we fighting.
Definitely fight. We definitely fighting.
like I said, you like, and this is why I'm like, yo, that's why I will always respect Carmelo Anthony. My man, with that whole thing with Kevin Garnett, my man said, I'm gonna finish the game. Cool. I'm not gonna get kicked out of this game. My man was waiting at the bus.
Come here, let me talk to you, bro.
Right. That's a real tough guy.
Kevin Garnett wasn't ready for that.
Over a basketball game, Melo.
He wasn't ready for that.
Over a basketball game. Yo, I love hearing Iman Shumpert tell that story. I can't even front. I love hearing Iman Shumpert tell that story. And respect to Iman, because Iman Shumpert was like, listen, my attitude was, that's my man. I'm going with him.
Him, B. Davis.
Those were real tough guys. The Detroit Pistons? Nah. With this version of the Detroit Pistons? Nah. And J.B. Bickerstaff is a fool trying to elicit that. J.B. Bickerstaff has a hatred for the New York Knicks, which is birthed out of playoff losses. He couldn't beat us in Cleveland. His bigs, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, got sunned by Robinson by himself. And then last year. And what kills me about JB is, we try to be tough, we try to be physical. You're defending your players, but the moment another team brings physicality back, you screaming at the officials, you're looking for ticky-tack fouls. You can't have it both ways, JB. And I hope this video reaches JB. You can't have it both ways, JB Bickerstaff. You know what I appreciated about Chuck Daly? Chuck Daly, when he was coaching the Pistons, yes, he coached them to be bad boys. But when they got out what they gave, he didn't complain about it. It was part of the game. You can't complain that Cade is getting fouled. This one's getting fouled. No, you're sending your guys out there to be goons. You can't have it both ways.
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, they're not going to trade Stewart. And again, let me get back to J.B. Bishop Woodall. J.B. Bickerstaff is a punk. There is no accountability for his players. He's almost defending Isaiah Stewart. How about this? Isaiah Stewart has now shown you that he cannot control his emotions. You need Isaiah Stewart. Quiet as it's kept. Detroit needs Isaiah Stewart. You know why? Because Jalen Duren's knee and his hamstring are not 100%, even though he's been playing. Now he's going to be gone for at least 25 games, and you've got to hold off the Knicks and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference in the second half. He's going to miss the bulk of the second half of the season. And you've got to hold off two teams that are going to be around. You play us again right out of the break. You gotta hold off the Knicks and the Celtics, and maybe even the Cavaliers. Duren's knee isn't right, and now he's in and out of the lineup already, but now he's gonna be suspended for at least 5 games for throwing a punch. But you're gonna back your team? Are you stupid? You don't even realize that you just may have torpedoed your team. Your team may have just torpedoed its own season. They may have just torpedoed their entire season.
Out of here. 50 games.
You want to give 50 games? He's going to get at least 25. First of all, they better be glad. That's what I was about to say. They better be glad David Stern's not alive. Because if David Stern was alive
for the rest of the season,
he'd be done. Exactly, he'd be done for the rest of the season, especially being a repeat offender. Right? He was cheering on Stupert,
and that's why I'm saying. I think Adam Silver has tolerated this from Detroit because first of all,
but he can't anymore because now teams are fed up.
It caters to the fans that they lost.
And now teams are fed up Detroit had won. I'm not Detroit. Charlotte had won 9 in a row. They were the hottest team in the NBA, and they had an opportunity to really take it to the best team in the Eastern Conference. And Detroit, with their grabbing and holding and pushing and not really and not physical defense, but fouling defense.
Yeah.
We need Rod Thorne back to hand out fines. No, we don't. No, David Stern. David Stern would have stepped into this and said, all right, he gone for the rest of the season. And everybody else would have got at minimum 10 games.
Yup.
At minimum, everybody else would have got 10 games.
This ain't hockey.
Because it was because Isaiah Stewart further incited the melee when it was finally calming down.
Yeah.
You can't do, and he left. First of all, it's automatically 5 games for leaving the bench. That's automatic. It's automatically 5 games for leaving the bench. And then you threw a punch, which is usually another 5 games. He's getting at least 25 games. I'm with you on this. If he don't get at least 25 games, then that means Adam Silver is in bed with the Pistons. He's got to get at least 25 games. He has to. Because 2 things he did last night are 10 games by itself. 2 things he did are 10 games by itself. With the coaching staff, have you seen Isaiah Stewart, Bishop Woodall? They wasn't holding that nigga back. I mean, he went charging off that bench like, where is the humanity? No, did nobody learn anything from the 1996-1997 New York Knicks? Did nobody learn anything from that? It was the middle of the playoffs, and David Stern was suspending cats. Patrick Ewing got suspended for just taking one. Patrick Ewing wasn't even involved in it, but because the videotape showed him take 1 step off the bench, he was suspended for Game 6.
That's wild. That's wild.
He got 25 games with Bishop Woodall. You said I haven't seen I saw that was speculation, but I haven't seen the official word come down yet. I have not seen. In fact, let me look it up. Maybe it did come down. Detroit suspensions. Let's see.
Nah, that didn't come down yet.
I didn't think it came down yet. Yeah, it hasn't come down yet, but NBA insiders are projecting that Isaiah Stewart is going to get at minimum 10 games. At minimum. Stewart landed a few. No, he didn't. No, he didn't land any punches because he swung and Miles Bridges ducked underneath him and grabbed him by his legs. He's about to put him on his back. But I
need more than that.
I think he should be. I agree with L. I think he should be suspended for the rest of the regular season. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Knicks fan. I'm saying it because what he did was absolutely egregious.
Yeah.
And he's a repeat
Send
offender.
him home.
Right, just send him home for the rest of the year. Just send him home. Like, when JB talking about, what you expect him to do? You know, he felt like he had to go defend his little brother. You're the head coach.
I would find him. The coach would get a hefty fine for
gonna be without pay. The suspension is gonna be without pay anyway. But as a team, I would fine him too. Like, dude, you about to torpedo our whole season because you want to fight? Nigga, you stupid. We trying to win a championship.
I would fine the same way they fine coaches for saying something bad about refs. I would fine him for justifying that behavior.
Oh, absolutely.
$5,000.
But I do feel like the NBA referees
I'm hitting
are
all
to
y'all
blame.
pockets. Everybody will think twice before y'all try to do this again. Everybody's pockets is getting hit.
I agree.
Including the white boy that way.
Duncan walked away. He said, I'm sick of these niggas. These niggas always messing stuff up. That's literally what Duncan Robinson's face said. He's like, these niggas is always messing stuff up.
You out here acting a fool. You out here acting a fool in Charlotte, North Carolina during Black History Month. Get out of here, man.
I agree. I think the organization should be fined. I agree with you on that. I think the entire organization should be fined. In the middle of Black History Month, right after Martin Luther King birthday, here you are acting a fool like this. Bishop Woodall says, send him to therapy for a year. Stewart needs a coach in prayer. Listen, can't nobody help Stewart at this point. He needs something, but I don't know what could help him. But I really feel like the NBA and the NBA officials have let way too much go.
Yes.
And now you're starting to see that teams are tired of it, and they're not going to be bullied by the Pistons anymore. And so the referees have to get control of these games. I said in my video, what Steve Javie, Hugh Hollins, great veteran officials like that, Dick Bavetta, they would have never allowed it to ever get this bad. Because they would have called 2 fouls on you. JB would have complained. Dick Bavetta would have turned to him and said, knock it off. Tell your players to knock it off.
So
and that would have been the end of it.
And if it had happened again, like,
yep, he's gone. Exactly.
he would check the coach.
Those 90s officials, yep, no control, absolutely. And it's funny because when you think of, when I think about it, again, coaching in the youth leagues that I do, that's how they do things like that. When the players get out of hand and talking too much, we get the tech because we're expected to control our bench as the coaches. We're expected as coaches to control our bench. We lost Bishop L. Hopefully he'll be back in a minute to help us close out the show. But it's crazy. Duncan Robinson had his back was ready to go back to my. He probably was, Sam. He probably was. Duncan Robinson was like, I'm out of here. These niggas is doing too much. That's how Duncan Robinson felt. That's what his face said. Yeah, Bishop Woodall, Naz Reid got into it. But that Atlanta altercation wasn't that bad. That was between two people. That was Naz Reid and the dude from Atlanta and the African kid from Atlanta. What happened in that Detroit game, you could see was the byproduct of stuff that was boiling over. And then once they got order restored and Grant Williams gets called for what amounted to a ticky-tack offensive foul call, you saw Charlotte's coach lost his mind and got himself thrown out of the game. Because, again, they are tired of it. They're tired of the Pistons getting away with murder, and the refs don't call it, don't see it, but on the other side, we're getting called for everything. You can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. That's not going to work. But something really has to be done. Something absolutely has to be done on the other side of this. Pivoting quickly, we're getting ready to get out of here. Pivoting quickly to, because it's late, but we're pivoting quickly to the world of professional wrestling as we prepare for Elimination Chamber.
Still off.
Huh?
Do I think here's this question?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I think we're like on a delay.
I can hear you.
Do you think they're gonna take the belt off of CM Punk?
CM Punk? Good question. It's a very good question. Because I could very easily see Roman Reigns winning. I could very easily see CM Punk retaining. The real question is, with either of those finishes, how do we get there? That's the real question. Because who's gonna take the pin? That's the question. Which one of those guys takes the pin? Because the truth is, both of them are so over that if either takes the pin, it's not a big deal. but it depends on who you want to carry the championship going into Saudi, because that's whoever wins is going to carry that championship into WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia.
They're giving it.
I
They're
can
giving it
see
to Roman.
that.
Here, 43 is going to be. They're going to give it to Roman. They're going to give it to Roman.
Yeah, Roman. Because
about-
the other thing about that is I could see that, because then you finally are able to set up Roman Rock in Saudi Arabia. Because that's the match that the Saudis have always wanted. That's the match that they wanted. They want Roman Rock in the main event of WrestleMania. The Saudis want that. That's big money for them. And WWE knows that the Saudis are going to pay them $1 billion for that. Because Saudi is a nostalgia country. They want nostalgia acts. They want Rock
Jade
fighting
retain?
for the belt. I don't
Jade
like what they're
retain?
doing with Jade. I don't like what they're doing with Jade. They started off
Okay.
strong with Jade, but I don't like what they're doing right now, because you came and you put Tiffany Stratton back into it. This whole thing with Jordan Grace, I don't think they're building it well enough. And then this
Right.
past Friday night you put them in a tag team together. Like, what was that? Like,
Okay.
for what? Like,
My last one. Does AJ Lee beat the man?
yes. Yes. I think AJ came back for a final run, but I think that she gets her last hurrah, so to speak. And obviously the women's world title picture is way too crowded right now. It would not have made sense to put AJ Lee in the world title picture, because while yes, she's AJ Lee, to try to put her up there with Rhea and Io and Stephanie Vaquer, that it would just show the ring rust. So you got to put it in the Intercontinental title picture for right now. I think there's going to be a program probably with her and Natty, which I've got to admit, I love what they're doing with Natty Neidhart. Most people don't know that was her name before she was Natalya. She came into the business as Natty Neidhart. So listen, that's Jim the Anvil's daughter. That's the
That's what I
Anvil's
thought.
kid. Yeah, that's the Anvil's daughter. That's Jim the Anvil Neidhart's daughter. So
When she put that Heart Foundation slingshot on that girl last night, I was like, whoa. She looked like Brett. She looked like Brett when she did that.
Listen, that's who she learned it from. she runs the Heart Dungeon now. You know that she runs the Heart Dungeon now.
Really?
Yeah, she runs the dungeon now. So listen, Natty's getting her last hurrah too. So I ain't mad at it. I always loved the Natty Neidhart character, because Natalya was always kind of sweet and nice and stuff. I like Natty. I really like Natty. And I can see Natty and AJ turning into a program at some point as well, which would be great. And I love this new gimmick of hers, the low-key legend. I like that. That got a nice little ring to it. Natty, the low-key legend. I like it. I like it. I love that edge that she has. What I will say on SmackDown in the women's division, I want to see more from Lash Legend. I need them to really push Lash, because to me, she is the only one really in the women's division that I think could give any kind of a run to Jade while Bianca is out. Lash Legend is the only real threat to Jade Cargill right now, in my opinion.
Okay.
That I can look at it and legitimately say, okay, I can see her taking the belt off of Jade. None of the rest of them I can. Tiffany Stratton can't take the belt off of Jade. I think what's my girl? Lena, I think her time has passed. Nia Jax, Lena Fanine. I think her time has passed. I I like Jordan Grace, but I don't think Jordan Grace is strong enough to take the belt off of. I think Lash Legend, if not Bianca Belair, but and just an update with Bianca Belair, they're having a lot of trouble with her rehab, which is why she has not returned yet. It was a freak injury with her hand, and they're still trying to figure out certain things with that finger, and that's why she's been gone for 9 months. But we're hoping there was originally a plan for her to return at the Royal Rumble, but her rehab's not going all that great. So hopefully we'll see her sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, we definitely have Lash Legend, who I believe has shown that she can step in that spot. And not for nothing, I appreciate the whole thing with Julia, but I want to see Kiana James in the ring some more. I want to see Kiana James in the ring some more because she showed me something at the Rumble. She showed me something at the Rumble.
She was all over the place. I love that.
And let's not forget, lurking in NXT is Miss Parker.
Yeah.
Gina Parker is still lurking in NXT. I'm waiting for that call up. So, and they haven't officially called up Lola Vice yet. Like, so the women's division, they got some depth. Yeah. There's some depth in that women's division in terms of what could happen going forward. But as always, we appreciate you guys. It's 11:36. Yeah, we got more.
We can't leave without talking about this Sleeper Bowl.
I was hoping to get away from it. That was I posted, for those of you who follow us on Facebook, you saw that I posted going into the fourth quarter that it was 12-0 and not a touchdown had been scored.
Not one.
What is this nonsense? And then as a Jets fan, I am pissed off that Sam Darnold has a Super Bowl ring and my team doesn't even have a quarterback.
It's the Sleeper Bowl. So we won't talk about the game. We can close tonight's show talking
Bad
about
Bunny,
the halftime show.
Okay.
Because I posted something that I want every one of our followers or you to really think about we are as a country. And this is a sports topic because this situation took place at the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to give it back to my co-host, and he can close us out. The Bad Bunny halftime performance was a great performance.
It was. Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Dismissing it because you didn't understand the language, despite having access to Spanish from grade 6 to 12 and again in college.
Listen, on your TV, just hit the SAP button. They would have translated it for you.
It isn't an indictment of the artist. That's an indictment of our refusal to engage with and embrace other cultures beyond what's familiar. And the fact that some chose to skip it and watch a separate all-American YouTube halftime show.
Let me give him the screen for this.
As if celebrating narrow comforts somehow make you more patriotic, just underscores how threatened some people are by anything that doesn't look and sound exactly like them. It's a different era, but it's the same impulse. Separation, which is disguised as comfort. America only halftime show equals whites only water fountains. English only halftime shows equals non-colored allowed restaurants. There was no line that was drawn in the sand by choosing Bad Bunny. However, the line was drawn when an alternative show was created for a certain group exclusively to avoid Bad Bunny. And finally, here's what I need to say to you, Black people, us folk. that are criticizing Jay-Z for his role in curating the Super Bowl halftime show. If the decision were left up to some of us, we would probably demand only black artists every year with no room for anyone else. And because Jay-Z is black, some of us feel like he owes our race entertainment that caters exclusively to our preferences. That mindset is no different from the very exclusion we claim to oppose. Representation is not ownership. Inclusion is not betrayal. And cultural leadership is not obligated to make one group comfortable at the expense of everyone else. That's what I have to say about the Super Bowl show.
Well said, Bishop Robert Vincent Butler II. Gave me Bishop L right now. That was Bishop Robert Vincent Butler II. But no, in all seriousness, all sincerity, that was very, very well said and very poignant. And if you'd like a transcript of that, go to his Facebook page, which is where that was posted there for your perusal. And I totally agree. And one of the biggest issues that I have with TP USA, Turning Point USA, is it masquerades itself as a Christian brand or a Christian organization, and curating a completely separate halftime show is probably one of the most anti-Christian things you can do. And calling it the All-American halftime show. Bad Bunny is an American. Puerto Rico is a United States territory. Or did all of y'all who were at TPUSA, did you all fail U.S. history and government in the 11th grade?
So here's what I want to know. Are you angry that Lady Gaga was in his performance? Because she's white.
She's a big white girl.
She's not Puerto Rican.
She was out there having fun.
Lady Gaga is a white woman.
Indeed she is.
Oh, no, I know what it was. You're mad because she was singing in Spanish.
Her singing was great. Dancing, not so much. I was like, what is she doing?
But that whole show
It was. It absolutely was.
Yo, when he climbed up those electric posts and sent that message of how aid was not sent to Puerto Rico when they experienced those mass power outages, I said, you know what? Slap Donald Trump in the face. 2 years in a row, Donald Trump got slapped in his face at the Super Bowl. He should never want to go to another Super Bowl again.
I mean, and maybe that's the thing that has them all in a tizzy. The fact that, you know, it slaps their king in the face.
Slaps him in the face.
It does. It slaps their king in the face, and it makes them have to realize some of the poor decisions that he has done, that he's made, and the things that he's done to show his true colors. I know there are people who are of the persuasion that Donald Trump is being used by God.
Used by God to do what?
You would be surprised, my brother, at some of the things that I've heard from people.
Anybody that said, well, you know what?
And I'm talking about folks who look like us, bro. I'm not even talking about the other side. I'm talking people who look like us that legitimately feel this way. And again, I'll be the first one.
Well, we had a conversation about 2 weeks ago on another podcast.
We did.
Where that was alluded to. That was kind of stated. And I mean, it's not foreign for us to see God use wicked leadership.
And that's what I was going to say. You know, him being used by God does not change the fact that he's still a wicked leader. And I think that's the thing that some people are missing.
Yeah.
because the scripture does tell us the heart of the king is in God's hand. So ultimately, if God wants to enact certain things, he will use whoever because he's God. That does not make that person a saint, and it
Nope.
does not make them less wicked.
Nope.
And I think that's the thing that we've got to really reconcile ourselves with. So you got Christians that get excited because, oh, he wants to restore the nuclear family. Okay. He's not a champion of LGBTQ plus rights. Okay. But he's also not a champion of civil rights for marginalized people who are just not white. And I think you have to look at both sides of it. And I need people to really stop trying to politicize God. God is not a politician. Christianity is not a political stance. Even though some people have made it into it, but Christianity is not a political stance. And Christianity is not liberal. Christianity is not conservative, even though people like to say it is. Quite honestly, if you and I know you will appreciate this, if you actually truly study the Bible, the truth of the matter is Christianity is actually more moderate than you think. But some of y'all not ready for that conversation. Did you just go in the bathroom? But I will digress from that because that's not where it's a sports show. We want to stay on the happiness of sports. If you want to hear us talk about those other topics, we can do that on another podcast. But it's the Church Guys Sports Show. Again, we appreciate you rocking with us. The NBA All-Star Weekend is this weekend. Tomorrow is the last day of games. We will be back on Tuesday to break down. I don't know if we're going to break down All-Star Weekend because none of us have a plan on watching it. I guess I might have to be the one that has to watch it for the show's sake because we have to talk next Tuesday. But I'm not looking forward to NBA All-Star Weekend this weekend. It is not something that I think is going to be good, but we'll see what happens. I know they brought back shooting stars for the first time in forever, and the Knicks have a team in the shooting stars competition. Cat, Jalen, and Allen Houston will be in the shooting stars competition representing the New York Knicks during NBA All-Star Weekend. So, I mean, I might watch that part of it, but I'm not looking forward to All-Star Weekend. But I guess I will watch it because we are a sports podcast. And
I'm gonna watch.
We got to talk about it next Tuesday.
Is it Sunday?
It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The All-Star Games are Sunday, yes. But then of course, you have the Rookie Challenge on Friday. The Rookie Challenge Friday. You got All-Star Saturday night, dunk contest, the Shooting Stars, which is going to replace this. Because after Chris Paul and Wemby cheated in the skills competition last year, they got rid of the skills competition and they brought back Shooting Stars, which is an old-fashioned shooting contest. So that'll be fun. The Shooting Stars, and I think the Knicks got a legit chance at winning the Shooting Stars because it's JB, it's Cat, and Allen Houston. And I've seen Allen Houston in the gym recently. That dude still got it. That stroke is still pure.
His name was H2O.
H2O. That shot is still pure after all these years. I saw him in the gym. There was something on X showing him getting ready for it. That boy can still shoot. So the Knicks, I think, have as good a shot as anybody of winning Shooting Stars. And then, of course, dunk contest, three-point shootout. Although I have not heard who's going to participate in the three-point shooting contest this year, which is interesting. So they haven't announced that as of yet. And then, of course, the All-Star Games on Sunday. Yes, Bishop Smith. No, we're not doing the midnight impartation. This is our sports podcast, which will be closing out right now. Thank y'all very much for joining us. We will see y'all next Tuesday. We'll break down NBA All-Star Weekend. We'll get you ready for Elimination Chamber in the WWE on the road to WrestleMania, and whatever else comes up in the world of sports as we continue. WNBA still trying to do what they do.
3-point
Pitchers and catchers report this week. What'd you
3-point
say?
contest is Devin Booker, Con, Damian Lillard,
Conkinepple.
Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray,
Dame
Bobby
Dame
Portis
is Dame is
Jr.
competing with a ruptured Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Norman Powell.
could be
And
interesting.
Norman Powell.
All right, I'm gonna say Norman
Shooting
Powell.
Stars. Me too. Shooting Stars. Team All Stars. Scotty Barnes. Chet Holmgren. Whatever. I don't know. And Richard Hamilton.
Chet Holmgren. Not a
Yeah.
great shooting team other than Richard Hamilton.
Right. Team Cameron is Jalen Johnson. The kid from Charlotte again, whatever his name
Conkinepple.
is.
He can shoot.
Knipple. All right. Corey Maggette.
Not a
Team
great
Harper.
shooting team other than Conkinepple.
Team Harper is Dylan Harper, Ron Harper Jr., and Ron Harper.
Not a great shooting team either. And then there's the New York
Team
Knicks.
Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Allen Houston.
That's our winner.
They should.
And not
That's
and
our
not because again, not just because that's the best shooting team
Best
of the
shooter.
3 shooting stars teams.
Yeah. And then your dunk contest is Carter Bryant, Jackson Hayes, Keshad Johnson, and Jace Richardson.
I don't have a pick on that because I've never seen any of their dunk packages. So, I mean, I've never even seen these cats dunk in a game. So,
So I think you're going to be the one that has to report on the All-Star weekend. I'm not watching any of this.
see, I told you. That's what I said. That's what I said. I'm gonna have to watch it because I'm gonna have to be the one that discusses it on Tuesday of next week. But thank y'all
Start
for
our
joining
show
us.
off with that.
Yeah, and I'll
Start
start
our
the show
show.
off with that, and then we'll get into the wrestling and stuff after that. But again, we thank you for joining us. We appreciate you as always. Continue to like, share, tag, and comment. We'll be posting more and more on the Church Guys pages going forth as we continue toward All-Star Weekend. So, happy Valentine's Day to those that celebrated this weekend. Have a great time. I probably won't be celebrating Valentine's Day, thank God. Nah, Charmaine got to preach on Saturday, so down in Petersburg for full gospel for Waterman and them. So that she'll be busy with that. Thank you, Jesus, which means I can save some money this year. Hallelujah.
Listen, I told Artel, if you want to go out for Valentine's Day, you tell your kids that work to send us to dinner.
So right, send y'all out. There you go. There you go. Tell them to send y'all out. That's right. That's right. Tell them.
Artel said, those kids are poor. We ain't going nowhere. I said,
not those kids are poor. That is terrible.
That's what she said.
Terrible.
We're poor. We're not going nowhere. I told her I was going to take her out on Side Piece Day, which is the 13th.
Good night, everybody. Y'all have a great night. Because he didn't.
Y'all know the 13th is Side Piece Day. Y'all don't know. Act like y'all don't know the 13th is Side Piece Day now.
Oh, you got your oils from last week?
No, that's from this house.
Oh, that's from this. That oil is for this house, right? Shameless plug.
That oil, this house. Shameless plug.
Y'all have a great night, everybody. So, y'all please buy these books as well that Bishop L has. We'll talk more about that on Tuesday. We'll see y'all. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Church Guy Sports Show. We out of here.
The Church Guys. We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. Yo, welcome to the show where the faith meets the court. Church guys repping hard, yeah, we live for the sport. From the pulpit to the bleachers, the word we endorse. Dropping dimes, preaching truth, keeping God as the source. We breaking down the play, stats, facts, and the story. Sunday to game day, all for his glory. Talking hoops, talking fields, every touchdown and shot. But we never lose sight of the faith that we got is fellowship, fire, passion in the zone. Church guys sports show, yeah, you know we at home. Turn the volume up loud, let the good vibes flow. This is more than just a game, it's the way that we grow. The Church Guys. We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. The Church Guys. We're live on the podcast. A Church Guy Sports Show. From the locker room talk to the pews on a Sunday, we call the plays right, kingdom business on Monday. Faith on the field, spirit driving the grind. Every headline we drop got the word intertwined. We reppin'